We're all set, Kristen.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kristen Proud, Vice Chair of the New York Creates Board. I'd like to welcome everyone to the meeting this morning. I'll do a roll call, starting with the directors who are participating in this meeting today. Michael Abbott.
Present.
Anita Brown.
Present.
Christine Chung.
Present.
Doreen Harris.
Present.
Dr. Mengling Chao.
Present.
And Kenneth Tompkins.
Present.
Thank you all for joining this morning. At this time, I'd also like to recognize the advisory representatives designee who's joined us. It's Ian Rosenblum. Ian is the designee of the Chancellor of the State University of New York. Mr. Rosenblum serves as the Senior Vice Chancellor for Policy Implementation and also as the Chief of Staff to the Chancellor. I'd also like to recognize the member representatives with us this morning. Ryan Farrell, representing the Research Foundation of the State University of New York, and also Michael Frame, representing SUNY Polytechnic Institute's Foundation. The officers who are participating in the meeting today are David Anderson, Patricia Arciero, Paul Kelly, Scott Bateman, Timothy Taylor, and Patricia Buckland. I'd ask everyone to please mute their computers when not speaking so we can attempt to minimize any background noise. And also, if you would please identify yourself when speaking and if you are making a motion. And for purposes of the votes this morning, we will call out each director's name for their vote so that we can accurately have it recorded. At this time, I'll ask if anyone has a conflict of interest with respect to the items on today's agenda. And if so, if you would please make an appropriate disclosure on the record now, and then recuse yourself from any discussion or vote with regard to the item when we come to it on the agenda. Okay. Hearing no one with a conflict of interest or potential conflict of interest this morning, I'll move to the approval of the minutes from our last meeting. I'd ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the New York Creates meeting, which was held on February 16, 2023.
So moved, Ken.
Thank you, Ken. Is there a second?
Mike Abbott, second.
Thank you very much. Are there any corrections or amendments proposed to the minutes of the February 16th meeting? Okay. Hearing none, I will ask each director for their vote. And if you'll excuse me one moment, I think our cleaning crew is here and I'm going to close my door. I apologize. Apologies for the distraction. So Michael Abbott.
Aye.
Anita Brown.
Aye.
Christine Chung.
Aye.
Doreen Harris.
Aye.
Dr. Mengling Chao.
Aye.
Ken Tompkins.
Aye.
And I would also like to be recorded in the affirmative. So the minutes are approved. At this time, I'll introduce Michael Abbott, who is the chair of our audit committee, and I'll turn it over to Michael for a presentation of the audit committee's report.
Thank you, Vice Chair. You were provided with information related to the approval of the tax filings for the New York Creates, FRMC, and FSMC. I'd like to ask for a motion to consider and adopt resolutions approving the tax filings for New York Creates, Fuller Road Management Corporation, and Fort Schuyler Management Corporation.
So moved by Mengling Chao.
Thank you. Could I have a second?
I'll second
Thank
the
you.
motion. Kristen Proud.
Thank you. New York Creates, FRMC, and FSMC engaged KPMG to review their tax filings for the year ending on June 30th, 2022, pursuant to authorization by the board at its meeting on May 12th, 2021. Filings include New York Creates IRS Form 990 in the New York Char 500, FRMC IRS Form 990 in the New York Char 500, and FSMC's IRS Form 990, the New York Char 500, 900T, and CT 13. KPMG has completed its review of the New York Creates FRMC and FSMC tax filings and draft tax filings were provided to the board in advance of the meeting. The audit committee approved the resolutions earlier this week described in the memorandum provided to the board in advance of the meeting, including recommending that the board approve the same actions. So the requested action today is to approve the resolutions for New York Creates, FRMC, and FSMC. One, approving the tax filings subject to and conditional upon the completion of the remaining administrative items, if any, to the satisfaction of the chair of the audit committee. And two, approving and authorizing the president, treasurer, and chief financial officer, each of them without the other, on behalf of the corporation, to execute, acknowledge, and deliver the aforesaid tax filings with such changes, variations, omissions, and insertions as the officer of the corporation signing the same shall approve, the execution thereof by such officer to constitute conclusive evidence of such approval, and to take such actions as are necessary or appropriate to implement and carry out the purposes and intent of the resolution, including, without limitation, the execution, acknowledgement, and delivery of other documents and agreements. Is there any discussion of the matter? Hearing none, I will ask each director for the vote on the motion. Anita Brown,
Aye.
Christine Chung,
Aye.
Doreen Harris,
Aye.
Dr. Mengling Chow,
Aye.
Kristen Prout,
Aye.
Kenneth Tompkins.
Aye.
I also vote in the affirmative. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. That concludes the audit committee report. I'll turn it back to the vice chair now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael. At this time, I would ask if there is any new business to be considered. Hearing none, I will ask if there are any members of the public who would like to make a comment at this time. And if so, I would ask you to please introduce yourself, your comments to 2 minutes. Hearing no comments from the public. With regard to the schedule of next meeting, that is the date to be determined. Once we have a date identified, we will post that on our website. Do any of the board members have any further business this morning? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Ken.
Second?
Second, Anita.
Thank you, Anita. All right, all in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, everyone. Have a good day.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.